Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone, stop! The show's about to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of No Conduct Radio. Tonight we're discussing, is it a fad or a movement? So we're going to be discussing the natural hair fad. I think is a fad. Apparently other people disagree with me. So the natural hair movement of, fad of black women. And also we're going to talk about the new fad of coming out and identifying as sexual offenders. So tonight we're joined by BJ, Shar, and Logic has taken Shar's place in the fashionably late department tonight.
How's everyone doing? How sad.
Hello,
everyone.
Hey, Shar, how you doing?
Hi, BJ.
Why did your voice have to get all deep?
Hey,
Shar, how you doing?
How you doing, Shar?
Why does your voice get like that for me?
I'm always super fantastic.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, good God, Shar.
I'm always super fantastic.
Hey, I supposed to have a concert
her.
tonight, so I supposed to have a concert, but I gave them tickets away to one of my buddies, so the Effervescence concert. So, yeah.
Really? You listen to them? I like them. Don't get me wrong. I was just surprised that you listened to them.
What did you listen to? We missed that.
Effervescence.
What kind of music? Oh, Effervescent. Yeah. Okay. You know. Okay.
That's your friend, DJ.
What? She said, okay. She
said, okay, Effervescence. Amazing.
Sound like a valley girl. Then again.
We still love you, Shar. It's okay.
Now, you guys know I grew up with rock music. I can recite all the rock bands that ever hit the 80s and 90s, and of course I'm aging myself.
I can't.
I didn't even have a black station available to me as a child for a long time. Didn't even know what it was. There was no black station available to me at a good portion of my childhood.
Hold up. Was there ever a black station? Was there ever a black station?
Ethnic. What's the political?
Ethnic?
Ethnic? Was it ever ethnic?
God.
Okay, let me put it like this.
Say urban.
Let me put it like this. Let me tell you, the town I lived in, there was 1,200 students, and I was the only black. Well, there's only 2 black students. Okay, I'm sorry, 3. There's one black guy. He never spoke to me. I guess he's, whatever.
Damn.
He acted like I didn't exist. But he was a lot older than me. I was in 8th grade, and he was already like a senior. But it was a boarding school too. But it was the town that I lived in. I'm saying imagine, that should tell you what kind of radio stations they had. They were all country, and I loved country at that time, and they were all rock. But now I'm well
boarding school?
Well, my mother taught English, French, and religion. She was teaching there, but we had to live there on the campus at the time. So It was really fun. It was really fun, actually, as a child. Imagine that.
I can't.
Interesting.
Well, try your hardest to imagine that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, wow. I really loved it, actually. I loved my experience. I loved it. I always had friends around. I lived there, and they lived in their dorms. I would go to farms and hang out.
So at what age was you introduced to urban radio?
Well, from 7th, 8th grade all the way until like at least 10th grade, I wasn't exposed, and then I was exposed to it like around 11th grade. So now I'm well balanced. So I love soul music, of course. I love soul music. I love hip hop. I love the classics like the Shy Lights and Commodores, or even like the Gap Band, or I love
all the ethnic music.
Yeah, Motown, right?
Ethnic.
All the
ethnic stations. Oh no.
I'm well balanced now. That's I like to say. I'm well balanced.
we lost some listeners.
Yeah, but I would like for you to change from saying the ethnic stations to whatever the music is, R&B, rap, whatever.
Yeah.
ethnic stations.
No, because
like,
I'm
only
covering
the white
a whole. I'm
people's
covering.
music is the one that counts.
No, I'm
Ethnic
covering
stations.
several genres. I'm covering several genres at the same time. So
Well,
ethnic
how come
meaning.
how come one word ethnic? My question is, how
Cover the
come
whole
one
genre.
word ethnic describes everybody else in the
It
world
can't-
except white people?
It can't. It
You
can't.
just covered
because
everybody else in the
no.
world except white people? Seriously?
Well, not when it comes to music, because I wasn't necessarily listening to East Indian bands or something, or bands from like, you know, China or whatever. I was listening to ethnic as in Black African American culture.
But you can't say that. You can't say that.
Then why didn't you say that?
Heck, I can't say. Okay, well then I'm saying it. Better late than never. Better late than never.
So we got you squared away with that. Now, if we could only teach you on not stereotyping people who have a turban on an airplane, we'll be golden with you. If we could only just teach you that, we'd be golden.
Okay, well, see, I have a right, but I have a right to do that. You guys forgot that one of my closest friends, he's a Sikh from India, and he's the reason why you can't discriminate from wearing a turban on the airplane. You guys forgot about that part, so I can't be that discriminating against people. I'm literally speaking. One of my closest friends went to the. No, listen. No. One of my closest friends went to the. What did he go? The Supreme Court. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court. He was taken off an American Airlines flight in the late 90s because he was wearing a turban. To this day, they passed a law that says you cannot discriminate against someone wearing a turban. Okay, and now I did have an issue with some scenario that you gave us. I don't know who that was that gave us a scenario of how they were speaking and whatever. Remember that show that we had? That show we had, and I was like, scenario.
Okay, check.
No, it's in stereo. We're in stereo.
You gave a scenario. Well, somebody gave a scenario about somebody speaking Arabic.
Right.
Well, I mean, it was your scenario. You feel the same here.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
I'm waiting. No, I said, it was your scenario. I mean, I can't. We have so many shows.
Oh my God.
I don't even remember.
All right, listeners, this is what she's talking about. I gave a scenario about somebody speaking Arabic. He was just talking to his mom, saying he's about to take, the normal stuff you say in English or whatever language to your parent. I'm about to take off. I'll see you in about 20 minutes or what? Not 20 minutes, like 20 hours or whatever. And somebody got nervous because he was speaking Arabic. So Shar said, yes, she would have gotten nervous if he was speaking Arabic, which I say that's bullshit because he's just telling his mom or his family or his friends, I'll be there soon. But because it's Arabic, then you have an issue now because the media told you to be scared of people who speak Arabic.
No,
it's just like hold on. It's just like what recently happened. So this guy, this white dude, shot up how many people in Las Vegas? They called him a lone gunman. Oh, he was just troubled. He was a lone gunman who just loved country music. This guy, he shot up people in New York City, and he yelled Allahu Akbar, and people are like, oh, he's a terrorist. Even before they said anything about it, officially, they were already on the news. It's alleged that he may have ties to ISIS. And they said they found a note in his truck. Like, nobody couldn't just put a note in his truck. So all you have to do is look Arab or have an Arabic name, or even if you're white, all you have to do is yell Allahu Akbar, and they'll automatically say you're a terrorist. But if you're just a white guy shooting up people, you're just a good old boy who's just mentally disturbed, and this is what the media has told everybody, and everybody just blindly follows what the media said. Yeah, all Muslims are terrorists. Oh, my God, you're a Muslim, you want to kill me. So, and Shar, you just fed directly into that because this guy is just saying, hey, wife, I've been living in the United States for 6 months making money for us, and I didn't see the birth of my new baby, but I'm on my way home now, baby. Get the kids ready. I love you. And Char's like, oh, my God, are you going to blow up the plane? Oh, that's where you get on my nerves, Char.
Okay, well, that's fair to say that I get on your nerves because I get on a lot of people's nerves, to be honest with you. So, hey, it's just a character flaw. I'll work on it.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I will.
Anyways, Logic, how are you doing?
There he is.
What?
Oh, God.
Is that your introduction?
The whole show.
That's the best.
You weren't clear. All I heard was Logic. It is there.
I said, anyway, Logic, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, good God. So we were just talking about what we're going to, what our show is going to be about tonight. Is it a fad or a movement? So the first thing we're going to discuss is, like we were talking about last week, the natural hair fad. I say it's a fad because people didn't really start cutting their hair until, I guess, like a majority of black women did it. Then everybody thinks it's okay to do it now. Somebody else says it's a movement. Char's trying to say it's a movement. My question to her, which she couldn't answer, a movement for what? What is the purpose? What are they doing? A movement is an organized, like you're thinking about getting an end result of whatever it is. This is not a movement. It's a fad. When majority of black people start relaxing their hair again, black women are going to go back to relaxing their hair. If the majority of black women are making fun of you because your hair is, what do they call it? They don't say kinky. What do they call it?
Nappy, kinky, coarse.
Nappy. Oh, I hate that one so
things.
much. Yeah, and you have, the kitchen in the back or something. If the majority of black women start making fun of black women about that again, you daggone right they're going to go back to putting the relaxer in their hair. So it's not a movement. It's a fad. But, Char, has your friend joined us?
Well, our secretary begs to differ, all of America. And
that's what I'm saying. Is she on so I could bring her on?
Actually, she's connected to our show. She's on her own phone.
Okay, so let me look here.
She's a caller.
I'm guessing this is her because she's been on the whole time of this show. This phone number has been on the entire time. So I'm going to bring on, and I hope this is her. I'm going to bring on caller ending in 5067. Is this Char's friend?
Yes.
Hi. So
Hi.
I want to hear from you why you think this is a movement and what categorizes it as a movement and not a fad.
Well, I think it started as a fad. Now it's a movement, especially with everything that's going on. And I heard you say earlier that black women make fun of other black women for having a kitchen. I've never heard of that either. I mean, we kind of identify with the kitchen. I feel like
you've never heard of black women teasing other black women about the grade of their hair?
That's the only reason I know this. Coming from the islands to the United States, that's the only time I ever heard that. I never even knew what a kitchen was.
Ever?
We don't talk about that in the islands. No, it was only when I came over to the United States that black women were making fun of other black women about a kitchen.
Hold on. See, this is where you get on my nerves with this, acting like as if the island is some, benevolent place where black women and black men get along and whatever.
No, I'm not acting like that. I'm saying in that aspect that didn't happen in the islands.
You probably never heard it, but I'm sure it happened there. Okay, because it's not just something that is only in America, and then everywhere else, everyone is just embracing their features and stuff like that. No.
Well,
okay, because they use bleaching creams in the islands and stuff.
Yes, they do. Okay, I apologize, Logic. However, caller, yes, I have heard black women make fun of other black women because the back of their hair was, I forgot, nappy. We say nappy, like nappy dread, but nappy. Yeah, and they called it the kitchen. That's the only reason I know about it. And I've heard of black women making fun of other black women for the texture of their hair. Your hair is so nappy. It's so kinky. Oh, I can't get a comb through it. Yeah, I've heard all of that.
Yeah, but that was during the straightening or the creamy crack movement, right? I haven't heard any of that since.
I mean, they even do it to this day. Even when black women are trying to go natural to this day, they aspire for looser curls, like mixed people hair. That's what they aspire for. Now, I'm not saying all, but the majority, they aspire for the looser curls.
Okay,
that's why this whole 4C, 4B, 4A, Z, whatever these, you're categorizing hair types instead of saying, hey, I have hair. End of story.
So, Kai, here's the argument. The argument is that she sees it as a movement, not a fad, like I told you before, how I said it was
right,
a movement.
And that's what I'm asking her. And what categorizes it as a movement rather than a fad?
Okay, what categorizes the movement in your opinion?
Can she hear?
We lost her?
I can't hear you guys.
Char, you need to move away from her because it's like an
yeah,
echo.
Somebody needs to turn down their computer.
Okay. Okay, we thought we lost you for a moment, but I think she's going to see if it's because she had to go out of the room. I don't know why I had to actually call in when I'm sitting right next to her in her office. Only a
I still see her on the line. She's still here.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said I still see her on the
line.
line.
Mean, why would I have her call in and she's sitting right next to me? So then
okay, but is she there to answer the question? What categorizes it as a movement rather than a fad?
Right. I can't hear you guys now. I lost you all now. Hello? Can you speak up, please?
Yes. We're here.
It sounds like you all just moved further away to another state.
No, we're here. No, you're the one farther away.
Okay, did she come back on?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I feel like it started as a fad, but it's more of a movement now, especially when everything was on, like the reemergence Black Party and everything. Like, just I'm not trying to make this. I don't know how to say it. I think it's like you said. I'm in agree. I'm trying to find the right words. I do agree with you that it may have started as a fad, but I think it's something that's here to stay. Just like cream and crack or whatever you guys call it. Relaxing your hair.
What?
Like that started as a fad. Cream and crack is what black people joke as black women joke as cream and crack because you always end up the relaxer. You always end up going back to the relaxer.
It's too many people talking. What are you saying? Are you saying cream of crack? What
no, creamy crack. creamy crack.
You keep going back to the relaxer. You have to go. Keep going like it's crack.
I can't hear what she's saying.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
It's called. Yeah, we can hear you. Hold on. Logic. It's called creamy crack.
Creamy crack. What is
that? Yes, they call it because the relaxer is creamy. Yeah, the relaxer is creamy, and they call it crack because you keep going back and going back and going back to get your hair redone.
Oh.
It's a relaxer.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that. But
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I think
caller,
it's going to be here to stay. I think it's here to stay, just like crack was. It wasn't a fad. I mean, it was bad, and then it grew. But I think curly hair or embracing natural hair, that'll always be around. Especially now, it's more of a forefront type of thing now, you know. Like I've never walked down the street and seen more afro, you know. I'm young, but I've never seen that before now, you know what I mean? It's sort of becoming a reemergence of it, and I don't think that's going away. Fads usually die out. I don't think that's going to die out. But, you know, that's my humble 23-year-old opinion.
I mean, I see what you're saying, as in fads usually die out. It's a toss-up whether it is or not. But why would you classify it as a movement? What is it a means to an end to? It started off as a fad, and maybe they got used to it, and they'll keep it that way. Maybe. However, how is it some kind of movement?
It's a movement in embracing your own hair. What do you mean? Whether it's a mixed natural 4A or a mixed natural, what is it, 2A or 2B or whatever, it's a movement in that way, especially like as a woman. You know what I mean? Like, wait, define movement for me. When you say movement, you mean a movement like politically, like a political movement? What kind of movement? I think it's a movement. I mean, it's not. Define movement for me.
I mean, when it's a movement, it's a means to an end of something, like the feminist movement back in the day. Not what's going on now, but back in the day was getting equality for women. You know, the Black Panther movement was getting help in their community, stuff like that. How would this be classified as a movement? Black people embracing their hair. Well, black women embracing their hair. And I even use that term loosely because, like I said, if your hair is very kinky, most black women still don't embrace that. They still are trying to find ways to make their curls more loose, make their curls hang as opposed to have an afro. They still put texturizers in their hair. They still look for that quote-unquote miracle gel that'll loosen the curl and make it hang. So that's why I still can't classify it as a movement, because they're still not embracing their hair.
Well, I'm filling in for her for a moment. This is a lot more clear. I just basically took her phone. I heard a little bit of what you guys were saying. I disconnected so that we can hear better, but I don't know. I'm just up in the air at that moment, because I remember giving my take last week, and it was such an amazing speech that I just cannot possibly recollect enough to repeat exactly all the wonderful, perfect words that I said.
But if it's how you feel,
so therefore I'm not going to say it again.
Same speech.
Because it was in its perfection, in its entirety. I said everything. I can't say it again. Haven't you guys ever tried to tell a joke, and then when you try to repeat it, you don't say it right, you don't even remember?
That's just a joke. It's not how you feel. So if this is something how you feel, then you should...
No. Haven't you ever tried to explain something? No, you try to give your opinion on something, and then it just comes out so perfect the first time. You try to say it again, it's just like you're all jumbled at that point. So you better.
We're going to go to our mediator, Logic. What do you think? And what did she have to? Shar, did she have to go do something?
Yeah, she did. So I kind of just grabbed her phone just for a moment.
Okay, so Logic, as a mediator, what do you think between what she said and where I'm coming from?
Not to be biased, but anything that is birthed out of like Twitter and Facebook, it's not authentic to me. And it's not because it's coming from Twitter or Facebook, it's because of the mentality behind it. Like when Kathleen Cleaver and the other women that were associated with the Black Panther Party in the 60s, when they were pushing the Black is Beautiful movement, they were rejecting everything that had to do with people trying to get away from their what they called their ethnic beauty. So they didn't wear the makeup, they didn't wear the certain clothes that would kind of downplay their curves or whatever. It was like the whole thing was all about completely embracing who you are. So yeah, their afros, some of them wasn't glamorous looking. Some of them had the Grace Jones look going on. You know what I mean? And
Grace Jones.
Some of them, and Kathleen, I believe, had one of those just regular fluffy afros, whatever. But I am also acknowledging what you're saying. Like every time I see a girl talking about she's embracing her natural hair, it's always these loose, soft afro looks, look like the Boondocks type, afro. And to me, everybody can't have that kind of texture hair. So they're doing something to all get that kind of look. So It's disingenuous because they're not really embracing who they are and their natural, quote, natural hair. They're trying to get this look that they're putting a brand of natural on and saying that's what I'm going for, but it's not really them being authentically natural because everybody has all types of different hair. You know what I mean? So you should see all of these, black girls or whatever running around with a whole bunch of different types of hair. And to tell you the truth, white people have a whole bunch of different types of textures of hair as well. So my thing is, it's coming from a place, again, Twitter and Facebook is all about, showing a specific type of persona. It's not about being honest. Most people on Facebook and Twitter are being frauds. They're trying to act like they're living a great life or whatever they're doing, or this is how I'm getting down. And most of it is lies. It's just, if you find out who these people are, they're not living that kind of lifestyle. They're not doing that great. There's a lot of stuff going on. Not to say everybody should just put their dirty business out there, but it's most of the time it's just crap. So I'm not convinced. I'm not buying the movement is real thing personally.
No, I don't. It's not any kind of movement to me. Like I said, like I told her, there's no means to an end. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to show the world? Nothing. you know, even if you did embrace your actual natural hair. It's not like this started off saying, well, the majority of black hair salons that are not salons but stores that we have in our neighborhood belong to the Asians. Let's take it back. So we're going to have this movement where we're not going to use relaxers or anything.
Exactly.
It didn't. So there is no movement.
Like Chris Rock came out with that movie Hair, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
And I swear I thought people were not going to use relaxers after that. I really did.
Because they don't care. And my thing is, I'm not coming at black women for doing it, because if you haven't gotten there yet, whatever. But even if you look at movements like Black Lives Matter, what are they actually accomplishing? Besides running around and saying they're angry about, look at these cops. Okay, so you're outraged. I get that. Right. But what if you call yourself the Black Lives Matter movement? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
What changes in legislation are you
trying to
making? What political partners are you gathering this whole time besides just running around hashtagging BLM and saying that ain't right?
Exactly. And it's not like the movement I don't know if she's back yet, but it's not like the movement actually has to make a political change, but the movement has to make some kind of change. Political, community, something. And this movement, this quote-unquote movement, is making no change except more Instagram models, more people making money off of making hair, natural hair products, more people showing you how to quote-unquote take care of your natural hair. That's all it's doing. It's not a movement.
Okay, then it's not a movement. It's a step in the right direction. How about that? Self-love for black women.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I'm still like questioning that one. I still don't think it's a step in the right direction of self-love because, again, like I pointed out, unless all of them are appreciating their texture of hair, then no, it's still not. They're still trying to get to as close to white as they possibly can. So you still have ones trying to loosen their curls. You still have ones worried about the quote-unquote kitchen in the back. And then on top of that, when you have your natural hair, look at the amount of makeup you're putting on with it. You know, trying to slender up your nose and stuff like that. So I can't get into the whole it's a movement. I don't. Now, there are people who've had their natural hair well before, it became a fad, and those are the people I commend. Not saying they were trying to do a movement, but they're just embracing who they are. Those are the ones that I say are embracing who they are. All the ones who just started this, no, you're following the fad. That's what I say.
Yeah, just like the fad with the wearing wigs, which is still the top selling, and not extensions. Wigs are the top sell more than hair extensions. Wigs do. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're still wearing wigs.
Hey, you guys, excuse me. She has to wrap it up. Can she get to her closing thoughts? She has to.
Go ahead.
She have a closing thought? Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
No, I don't. You guys have a good one.
Okay, well let's just thank her for coming on because she has to get back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your opinions today. Thank you for being part of it.
She sounds like she got mad at us.
I want to say this to her though. I hope that in this new fashion statement that it does inspire, younger girls, or even if it was older, but it does inspire people to be less inclined to run far away from how they actually look. Even though I do feel that they're going for a quote, I think there's more of a brand, natural.
Right.
But I hope it eventually inspires somebody to completely embrace who they are.
Isn't a movement supposed to inspire? I thought you just said that.
No, a movement is organized, and it has a clear goal. That's a movement.
Oh, well, we all know being natural isn't a movement. Then if you're defining it by that, but if you just said, I hope it hopes to inspire. That's what a movement is. A movement. The whole point of
being inspired being inspired is somebody doing something to give inspiration. You know what I mean? Like, you can say, I'm going to do this music or I'm going to use this a certain type of instrument or whatever to inspire people to blah, 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 whatever, or do some kind of art, whatever. But when someone says something is a movement, then you're an organized group that is trying to accomplish a specific goal. Like the alt-right is a movement to, instill more strength in white people and their culture, and for them to embrace that they are, powerful white Christian men. I don't know what their whole thing is, but you know what I mean? Like their whole thing is about, we're not going to give up our monuments. We're not going to give up our blah, blah, blah. That's what they're organized to do. And when they said they were getting rid of those statues, they organized and went down there with torches and met up and, conversed with each other on the internet to do something.
Logic. Okay, so she said it's coming out as inspiring. So the black, the natural hair, whatever it's going to be called, is inspiring other black women to embrace their natural hair. Do you agree with that?
No, because it's not authentic. What they're going for is a specific look, and it's not really about being, into who you are. That's what I'm saying, because, again, if the whole natural thing was, just you being you, there would be a bunch of different looks out there that the black women would have. But they're all trying to go with that. The best way I could describe it is the whole Boondocks Afro thing, where it's a loose, curls, Afro style, which is not, that's not going to happen every time. It's going to happen with some people if you happen to have that kind of hair, but it's not going to happen consistently every single time. So you're doing something. I don't know I don't know what they do to get that, but they're doing something.
It's called a texturizer.
Right. Well, so
exactly. So they're still putting something in their hair.
Right. So if you're really being
then it's no longer
to who you are.
What did you say, sir?
My secretary and I both said that it's no longer natural. I'm eating a granola bar. Sorry, it's no longer natural once they've altered it with any chemical state, any chemical process, and changed the original state. Then it's no longer natural. They're not part of that.
Exactly. So that debunks the whole movement or inspiration argument that she has.
No, it doesn't. Because we're not talking about those group of people that feel they still have to cater to.
That's a lot of them. The majority of them. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. No, it's not the majority. It's a very few.
All right, wait a minute, Shar. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. If there was a movement for, let's say Black Lives Matter, for instance, if their whole thing was, our movement is about for black people to feel safe, but we don't allow Republican black people to join our cause, well, then your cause is not really about trying to gain justice for black people that are being mistreated. It's more about a democratic thing. You know what I'm saying? So you claiming that all we're about is black people being safe from cops. That's not true, because you have this other underlying thing that these are the only people that you allow to join. So it's disingenuous. The same thing with this whole natural thing. If it's really you're all going for this type of look, then it's not really about being natural. It's about being this style of person right now.
Yeah, but logic in contrast to what you're saying, and even with the example of racism and all of that, I mean, not racism, but what you were saying about a political choice, here is the problem. People have to understand and define this. If you use a chemical to alter your original state, you're not part of a movement or a fad, because you're no longer natural. Natural is literally as it sounds. The way that you came into this world, the texture is not altered from that point. The only difference is how you choose to style it and be proud of it or embrace it. That's what makes it what it is. That's what makes it a movement. People that are saying, I don't care anymore about how white society views me because I don't have naturally straight, silky, slinky, whatever hair, I'm going to embrace what I do have and I'm going to work with and I'm going to be okay with it. As soon as you put in a chemical process, whether it be a slight texturizer to loosen the curl, or the afro, or whether you go drastically and completely have a straight perm, you are no longer part of that group of people who's made that choice. Things to make you go, right?
I'm not going, actually.
You should be going, yay, hooray, I'm right, because I am, because I know what I'm saying makes sense. It still has nothing to do with that.
What you're saying makes sense. However, it's still not. Okay. All right.
Well, we're splitting hairs, no pun intended, but we are splitting hairs. This is very simple, okay? I still say it's a movement. My secretary special guest did say, I'm sure other women will agree with me. I'm sure some will not. But what does it matter? Whatever you choose to do, do it. But if a large group of people are choosing
but don't
to do
run
that
around calling it a movement like you're doing something that's benefiting people. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying no. But don't run around acting like, oh, we're benefiting the black community with our No, you're not. You're doing it because you just want to look like everybody else.
Plus, you're proving my point with the
that's
comment
not
that
true.
you just made.
How many people would want to walk around with how many people do you think are super excited if they happen to be born with 4C hair or a texture of hair that will not revert to anything they really want it to do? You know, that they have to try and pull and tug and convince.
The bottom line question is, what is driving their want for that hair to do that specific thing? Is it that society
being able to
is
get
telling
out the
them?
house.
Wait a minute, just listen. Wait a minute. Is it society is telling them that if your hair doesn't do this, not good hair, that whatever? If that's coming from a place of social pressure, then this is the idea that you have to get away from. You have to embrace who you are. If your hair is this way, then this is who you are. Love yourself for who you are. You know, it's not about if your hair doesn't do this thing that you wanted to do. It's a lot of things that society tells people that they should be, but it doesn't make it right. That's the reason why a lot of black people have a problem with their skin tone, because we've been telling each other and been told by society every time that you can be considered attractive is if your skin is in this area of color. If it's any darker, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? Same thing with the hair. If your hair is many different ways. Wait a minute. Look what corporate offices are doing right now. They're saying it's not professional to have braids or dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? How can you say that about an entire what?
That's a whole nother issue. But can I just say this?
No.
So our guest found the definition. Our guest found the definition of a movement. We found the definition of a movement. Our guest has found that. The secretary found it, and we'd like to read this, and we'd like to close out with this. The definition of a movement is an act of changing physical location or position. Are you listening, no contact listeners?
In order for her to be right.
A group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic keyword ideas. Hair is art in every manner.
So you think all these girls getting together to push this natural movement are artists?
No, art is many forms in hair, and when you decide to wear it a certain particular way to express.
I'm asking you to use common sense, Shar. Do you think when black people are saying be natural, they're talking about art?
Common sense in the same sentence.
I cannot believe that you're see, we're splitting hairs again, no pun intended.
It's not about splitting hairs.
Hair is art.
It's not about splitting hairs.
You are, because hair is art. You can't say that's not art. That's another form of expression. Art is expression, Logic. Art is expression. Art is expression.
True. Char, what I'm trying to explain to you is this right now is riding the back of back in the 60s when black people became aware and they started to become proud. Black and Proud started. This is an echo of that, or so they claim. They're saying that they're woke and that they're embracing their natural whatever, and that's what this is about, being natural. Nobody else talks about being natural except black people. Nobody cares about it. It's just everybody just does their own thing. Black people have a need to continuously reassure themselves because we deal with a whole different social situation in this country. So these current black people are saying, I'm going.
Sorry, I have to interrupt because I see what y'all are reading. y'all are reading the wrong definition of a movement. What you were saying, an act of change in physical. Hold on, Shar. What y'all are saying, the act of change in physical location or position, you're talking about moving yourself.
No. It's the definition.
If you look at hold on, Shar. If you look at number 2, a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. To advance their shared political, social. What are you advancing? That still goes back to my question. What are you advancing? You're not doing anything except trying to look good on Instagram and trying to look like everybody else.
No, that's not true. As a culture, you are advancing the confidence in that culture. You're advancing, feeling proud or pride in that culture, being proud of it. Absolutely. Do you know how? Okay, first of all, the 2 men on the panel can step aside because you have no clue what black women go through with their hair unless you have sisters.
My God.
And maybe you have aunties. There's no way you can understand.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
Why would we not know what women go through if we live amongst black people and interact with them? In fact, DJ has black women as his daughters. That's his children. So why would he not know what a black woman goes through? And what are you talking about?
And teaching your daughters, of course, to wear their natural hair.
No. What you just tried to do is you just tried to completely shut us down and say we had no reference because we are not females. Now, if we were to say the same thing to you, say, oh, you're a broad, you don't know what we're talking about, so sit this one out and let the guys talk, you would be screaming at feminism stuff right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I might have to have somebody else gang up in this conversation. I got somebody else for y'all.
You got to shut us down. You got to shut me down.
No, it's not about ganging up. You just said something retarded. We're trying to have a conversation about something real right now, and you just tried to shut it down because you're getting flustered and you can't get your point across the way you want. So you just tried to lash out and say we need to shut up because we don't know what we're talking about. We're not women.
You're a man. This is a women's movement. I mean, I don't really know any men.
It's not a movement, first of all, and they have black people here too, quote unquote. Why can't they talk about it? They have the same issues. All they have to do is grow their hair out. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And then BJ has to now teach his daughters to love the skin and the hair that they're in. So why can't they talk about that?
Exactly.
My hair is different from your hair, Shar, and is more than likely different from your coworker. So I have different hair issues. My daughter's hair is completely different from mine. So I can't talk about this movement because my hair is not as kinky as everybody else's, and I use the word movement loosely. So I can't talk about this because my hair is not as kinky and I don't go out with an afro puff. I'm just wondering here.
That was not the idea. What I'm saying is the men, I didn't feel like the men really were I felt like it was like how can a man tell me what a woman feels, a black woman, what she feels day to day, dealing with her crown and glory that God blessed her with.
If he lived around them, if he had sisters, if he has cousins, if he has daughters, if he has friends or a loved one,
but it's still not your hair and your experience. I mean, you're looking at afar at a distance with other people.
Shar, are you completely
You don't have to make
ignorant?
a choice.
Wait a minute,
or not.
Shar, here's a question.
You don't have to make that choice.
Shar, here's a question. As a black woman and who has a black son, are you completely ignorant to what we go through as black men? Are you completely ignorant to that?
What does that mean?
Do you know what a black man goes through?
No, absolutely not. But that is not the argument, Logic. That is not. That is.
As a mother of a black man, you don't know what black men go through.
No, I said I sympathize with it, but how would I know what he goes through personally? Because it's not totally my experience. It's him. I don't get racial profile like a man would. I'm a woman. I'm not subject to racial profiling as a black man would be.
Stop giving me the fluff. What does that mean? You sympathize, but you don't understand? What does that mean?
I am a woman. Women get passes that black men will never get. I don't get pulled over profiling because as a woman, a woman can just show a tit and then she'd be okay with the ticket and not even have to get that ticket. Let it be a black man of any complexion, and there's a better chance that unfortunately that he will be pulled over and given a ticket or maybe even taken in. when he hasn't done
Listen to
anything.
me. Sure.
So
Listen to
that.
me. Okay. Let's say women can get out of tickets that way, black women. But you telling me because that may be the case, you are completely oblivious to the fact that black men fear for their lives when they deal with cops or when they go into situations in the corporate world that they have to work twice as hard or whatever because they feel that the clock is always ticking for them because, they're trying to get this guy out of here. Or they feel that they can't be themselves. They got to put on a persona to deal with certain people in certain situations. You're completely in the dark that black men go through these things.
No, I didn't say that. I said
then what
I
are you?
sympathize
Then
with
you
them because
understand.
obviously.
Then you understand. You don't have to have a penis to get it. You understand.
Right.
Because you live amongst them. You have dealt with them throughout your life. You're in a relationship with one, and you gave birth to one. You don't have to be a black man to get it. So we get it.
Get it.
Although we're not black women.
Right.
And you don't even have to be black. You can be white and still get it. Because they do. That's what the abolitionists were. The people that started the Underground Railroad, that's what they were, white people. But they got it. That was wrong. We need to help these people get out of here. It's crazy. Don't tell me that because we're black men, we don't understand the social pressure that black women are under to look a certain way, to be a certain way, and especially for their hair to have a specific appearance. We just not understanding, and we need to just shut up. What are you talking about?
Right.
Sure.
Hello? Sure.
Well, now.
Oh, okay.
No, I heard you. I was listening to you. I was just taking it all in.
I'm sure you were. That's what she usually says when she's not listening to us.
No. I was. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I just know that okay. I know that as a woman, I can never experience what a man goes through, no matter what their color or race is. And so if you want to narrow it down to a black man, again, when I said I sympathize, it's because I can imagine, I grieve for my son with some of the experiences and things he's gone through that he tells me, even as an adult. But is it me going through those exact experiences? Absolutely not, because I'm not that person. It's him that has to deal with it. Unfortunately, all I can do is teach him how to make the better choices in his life, to deal with these types of discriminations that he will feel these steps through the rest of his life.
Wow.
That's all I can do is teach him and be supportive. That's all you can do is raise a child in the right way that you know best and be supportive and give them the best knowledge and the most knowledge that you can, but you cannot live for them and be them. That's just plain and simple. There's no way that I can ever in my power be able to do that.
So you don't think there's any black man somewhere with a daughter that's trying to teach her to properly love herself?
She's beautiful and self-esteem.
I don't think that's possible.
I do it every other day with my daughters.
I'm sorry, the sound you made, BJ, was hilarious.
She was like, "You guys be quiet. You have a clue." Like, what?
Me, I'm not saying anything because I said my piece. You know me and arguing, and it's not, for some reason, it's not getting across that this is not a movement to the point where they went and looked up the definition of a movement, which still doesn't define what's going on right now with black hair. So I was done arguing.
Now I'm about to be sexist
you guys,
myself.
Can I just say something?
Because you're arguing with broad.
Let me just say something. My hair texture, no one asked me, and I really don't care, but my hair texture is very, very peculiar. My hair texture was generally it was more like a mixed texture. Everyone in my family has that texture. But as I got older, I found it very difficult to really appreciate my hair anymore because it's changed textures. It's just like, that's why I used to shave it off every other year.
Okay, wait. Stay right there. Why was it hard for you to accept that?
Except what? No, the change in the texture. I'm saying before.
I know.
It was easier.
Why was the change difficult for you to accept? Why was it to the point where you shaved it off? Why?
Because it suddenly became a texture that I didn't know. It just seemed like it started changing as I got older.
Matter.
I don't know.
Listen, it doesn't matter. There was something about it that you didn't find appealing, which is the reason why you shaved it.
Right.
Why?
You looked in the mirror. Why? It takes off.
Well, because I had to find new hair products all over again and try to embrace and understand how I can get my hair to, be more. How I wanted it to be. I mean, it was just personal.
Okay,
it was a personal.
Shar,
It was a frustrating journey on a personal
you
level.
Have an
but
opportunity here.
That's not
you
how
have an
it was.
opportunity here to
My
be
entire
honest
life.
and to dig to the root of what we're talking about here, which I think a lot of black women will benefit from. So please be honest. Now we changed, and you said you had to find new products to try to get it back to where you wanted it to be.
Right.
Why did it need to change back to this other thing? What about your new
to be honest, it was when I had a mix, but what I hate to say mix, I don't know how else to describe it. My hair is naturally spirally curly, like big spiral curls, like somebody put actual rollers in it. Everybody thought I have you think I have a Jerry curl, whatever. Who the heck has a Jerry curl in 2017? Okay, I would put, not activator, but like moisturizer products on it. But as I've gotten older, I've heard people say that your texture will change as you get older. Sometimes due to illness, sometimes due to age or. Exactly. It became
why was that a problem for you?
Let's say.
Because it wasn't what I was used to. It wasn't me. It's not what I was born with. It's not what I had my whole life.
No. It was coming out of your head. It was you. So why did this new you bother you?
Didn't look right. Right. Go ahead, say it. Because you didn't look
okay, imagine if you were in a car. Let's say you were a very handsome man. Okay, well, technically you were a very handsome man. So
hold on. Before you even get started, are you about to Before you even get started, are you about to equate your hair with ugliness?
No, I'm saying if you knew your face to be a certain way, and then suddenly you were disfigured in a way that you weren't before, and you didn't recognize yourself.
Did I just not answer that before she continued?
You don't recognize yourself. You just don't. Imagine if you started out one way and you don't recognize yourself. That's what I'm saying.
You don't recognize yourself.
Attributed kinkier hair with being disfigured, for instance.
How was you?
This is exactly where I knew you were going.
Okay, well, whatever. All I'm saying is that I don't recognize who I am anymore, and it frustrates me.
Your hair got kinky and you felt ugly because it wasn't blowing in the wind anymore, correct?
Exactly.
My hair?
Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily have to be blowing in the wind. I was talking about the texture.
Because it's not laying flat, it's not blowing in the wind, it's sticking up, it sticks here and there because it got kinkier. Right?
First of all, it's not okay. First of all, okay, I didn't say all of that. I didn't say all of that.
Was anybody still telling you? Was anybody? My question, Shar, was anybody still telling you got good hair?
Well, they still do actually. Yes, they do.
No.
But it has changed, and some of my friends have noticed that, and I just said, well,
what I guess if your friend doesn't mind, what does her hair look like? Does she have a really kinky texture? Is it loose waves? What does her hair look like? If she doesn't mind, don't say it. If she says, don't say it.
No, can I get permission to give you a description? I'm asking her. Can I tell them? Okay. First of all, her natural hair, she does not wear perms or does not alter it in any manner whatsoever, except for maybe blowing it out. Sometimes she'll blow it out straight. Her natural hair is it's thick, curly, very, very curly, thick, mixed texture, and I hate to say it like that, but that's how it looks, and it grows all the way down to just above her tailbone. And right now she's wearing it straight today, so she altered it with a blow dryer, but not with a chemical. So she wears it natural.
Okay, I understand that. So basically, she has the hair that the other black women are aspiring to have. Correct?
I guess is that fair to say?
Which is why it's easy for her to say, and I'm not jumping on her, but which is why it's easy for her to say it's a movement when she knows nothing about what the other black women are trying to attain. They're not trying to get
wait a minute.
Hair.
Oh, she's got to jump back on. Hold on.
It's not that I don't identify with black women because I'm very black. I'm very pro-black, and I've never – no, I'm black, so let's not say that. It's not that. And you guys are jumping around. I'm confused because there's a bunch of different definitions of natural. Natural as in an Afro natural, natural as in a mixed girl texture natural, natural as in what kind of natural?
And we've been saying that.
There are no
I agree with you.
definitions for natural. Natural is what you are.
Is what you're born with, but I understand where she's coming from. She's thinking we're just talking about, trying to be natural as in mixed people here or whatever, which we're not. But continue.
No, that's what I'm saying. So which natural are you talking about? Because I don't think
like
when I
Logic gave
natural,
the definition, natural of what's coming out of your hair without any manipulation at all.
Well, if we're talking about black women, I'm assuming that we're talking about afros. Because when I said in my previous statements earlier, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about afros.
Black women way back from Africa and stuff have different kind of hair. It ranges from straight to afro. We're talking about, again, the definition of natural is what you were born with without anything manipulating that texture, meaning like permanently manipulating that texture, meaning a texturizer, or you're constantly trying to straighten your hair, or I forgot what they call it, train it to make it straighter or anything like that. That's what we're referring to. So if you have a natural kinky afro that sticks up straight when you wake up in the morning and you just get to pick it out and go outside, then yes, you are natural. However, if you, every single night you braid your hair, then unbraid it so you could have that wave, or you put a texturizer in it, or you put some gel in it to make your curls looser every single day, and people think that's what your natural hair looks like, but it doesn't when you get out of the shower, then no, that's not natural.
Well, then that's then nobody goes natural. Then, because braiding your hair and not putting a texturizer on it, that's natural.
You're not understanding. I said every single day, to the point that people think this is the texture of your hair, because your hair does take on a different texture once you take the braids out. If nobody knows that your hair is that kinky curly and they think it's wavy or it looks like a loose curl like Shar calls it, then no, you are not embracing your natural. Now, if it's a once-in-a-while hairstyle, like today your hair is straight and tomorrow it's back to your curls, that's fine. But every single day you go through extra effort to make your hair look completely different than what naturally grows out of your hair, then no, you are not embracing your natural self.
Oh, well, my hair is straight right now, but that doesn't mean I don't embrace natural, and I still don't think it's
that's what I said. Like, your hair is straight right now, but you're not doing that constantly or making people think that this is your hair. It's a style. I understand. People put different styles. When you're trying to do it, like if you, for instance, were going every day with your hair straight to the point that people just thought, oh, my God, your hair is so straight, I love it, and they just thought that was your hair, and you were like, yeah, this is my hair, that's completely different. You're not embracing yourself.
All right, guys, she's going to have to go now for real this time. But she said thank you. Okay, thank you, Jason. They're left. Can you say goodbye to her, please? Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. You just got into No Conduct Radio. We're not people who just, baby. So that's all you got into. So no offense.
Oh, no sugar. Just give it to her.
I'm just saying, I don't think they understand, and I think it's more of people are embarrassed that they're not embracing their natural. I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying people are more embarrassed that they're not actually embracing their natural, that they're gonna argue it to make it seem like you are. And I'm not one who's gonna let you think that you are.
They're embarrassed. They're arguing because they're phony. They're trying to act like, I'm so woke. No, you're not. No, this is the new I want to rock an Afro party. And you're joining the party. That's what you're doing. And you're just having cops ain't crap. And they treat like, yeah, that's right, and blah, blah, blah. 5 years from now, no one's going to be talking about any of this. Because the same thing continues to happen all the time. This is nothing new. Black young men are being predatorily gone after in the judicial system. You know how long that's been going on? And you know how many times that our so-called leaders, NAACP, Sharpton, Jackson, and all of these, they do nothing to stop this. They do nothing to turn it around. They do absolutely nothing, which is, I can't understand to this day why anybody's listening to Farrakhan. What has he done for black people? Well, after that march, what did that do for any black people? Nothing, but put money in his pocket. It's nonsense, and this is nonsense as well. This is just stupidity that people just want to run around acting as if they care about something. But it's all a dog and pony show.
Yeah, Paul the leader.
So, Shar, did you get anything from tonight's show? Because if we gave Shar something from tonight's show, then somebody learned something.
Yes. Hello.
Shar's not listening. She's gonna come back and say she's gonna come back and say she heard us and she was just soaking it all in.
Every single time we talk to somebody from that state, it's just like
yes, I agree.
They go in and out, they disappear, and then they come back. What? Huh?
What do you agree with, Shar? What do you agree with, Shar? You just jumped in and said you agree. What do you agree with?
Everything.
Whatever. You're such a. Oh my God.
What? And all that. Oh, everything.
Shar gets on my nerves.
For what? Everything. You guys should be happy.
Shar, shut up.
Whatever happened.
Okay, so
in my special world, yes.
So basically, we deemed that this is not a movement. You couldn't give us a good argument to make us change our mind. So this is still not a movement. It's a fad, and it might go on, it might continue, and it might not. More than likely, looking at history, it's not going to continue. So anyway, the next fad that I want to talk about, which I know I'm about to get some backlash at it for it, so we'll just give Logic's Facebook so you can talk to him. That's Logic, Logic Wiseman on Facebook. I think this whole coming out and identifying sexual offenders like Harvey Weinstein, like Bill Cosby, like I think this is a fad. People are trying to say like, these people are brave for coming out and saying this, and I feel no sympathy for the ones who are just now coming out and saying it. Don't get me wrong. The ones who said it back then were blacklisted, were this and this and this, but we're trying to get people to listen. Yes, I feel bad for them. All the rest of them, no, I don't. Logic, before we continue, let's you recap what's going on with this Harvey Weinstein thing.
Basically, I think the one that actually got this started on his takedown was somebody that worked in his office. I'm not sure, but I don't think it was an actor. He basically was trying to have sex with her. She kept denying him and, getting him, telling him to get out of here. And he forced her to watch him jerk off into a fern in his office. So, so I think that was where she kind of then took legal action. Since post-Cosby, the sexual harassment cases are taken very seriously. I think it's more just because of the internet impact, and especially the feminists that are behind it. I think that's the reason why people are starting to panic on that.
It's crazy.
He's been doing it apparently though for years, since the early '90s, and
that's crazy.
There's been a lot of chicks that has given him what he wants, and he's given them careers, and there's been a lot of them who have, either given him what he wants and he's given them money, or in some cases they've said, I'm not sure again the details, but they said that he allegedly raped a couple and given them hush money, and they took the hush money, So my thing is, I feel the one I feel most bad for is Corey Feldman, because he's been saying this since the late '80s. He's been saying that him and Corey Haim were going through all kinds of, and people not only dismissed him, not only laughed at his exile, but then they started to kind of clown him, like, look at that, he's dressed like a weirdo. So I really feel bad for him.
Yeah, he's going through a hard time.
The last 20 years of his life due to what has happened to him, and just nobody cares at all. Nobody cares.
Right.
But now the girls are bringing two double charges, like everybody's horrified.
Right, but it's been going on for years.
Yeah. So
and
I don't know.
Funny,
I just find the whole thing strange.
Yeah, and it's funny because they knew what they was going into. Like if Harvey Weinstein said, okay, I'll get you into my movie, you might potentially get an Oscar or whatever, an Emmy. And they say, oh yeah, wow, at 21 they get excited. They're gonna do that casting couch thing. He's been doing it for years, right? So they already know that's been going on. So now it's coming to the forefront that Harvey Weinstein is a big, powerful Jewish guy. So he's about to tumble down, and everything's coming to him. So it's like it doesn't surprise me because it goes on. It's from that from the whole industry, just like that. If you want to be on a runway, anything, that's how it happens. It is what it is. You want to take that step, take that step. So he put it out there, and they took the step. But then again, they want to turn it against him. Well, so something had to happen for him to take this fall. He didn't agree to something. So it's not like they found something on him, like somebody came out. Somebody.
No. I don't think so. Because if you remember, what happened with Cosby was, what was his name? Hannibal, the comedian, just made a passing comment in one of his stand-up acts. And he was like, yeah, something about like, I'll end up probably being a rapist like Bill Cosby. And people were like, huh?
Oh, wow.
And then he was like, yeah, Bill Cosby's a racist. Look it up. And people Googled it. And then that's what started Cosby's downfall. So, again, you're talking about somebody that was doing it for 20-something years, 30 years, and going to Google it now and feel outraged. That's the only reason. So this whole Weinstein thing, I think, is just, again, they knew it. It was comments. If you look at old David Letterman shows where somebody would say something like, oh, yeah, Weinstein was, did this project, and he's like, ugh, you had to deal with him, old Mr. Grab Your Hands, or something. Like he would make a reference to how creepy, this guy is on a sexual level, and they will be this awkward, like, oh, yeah. So they knew this was an open thing. They knew it. But, like I said, it was only when this girl, at this time, where I believe feminism is at a fever pitch in power, like that's all of a sudden it's action time. You want to take action
to bring him down.
You've had these kids being molested by these directors and everything. The guy that directed X-Men, Bryan Singer, he's a known pedophile. They never said it. He's been doing movies.
And what's that with Facebook? Play the House of Cards. That guy on the House of Cards. What's his name? They canceled his show, canceled Netflix, all that. It's just like his next movie gonna be like canned because he sexually assaulted. I forgot the one that played Spock, and I'm trying to movie that was crazy. It's like what? And he tried to clean it up and said, well, I used to date women and men, but I prefer men now. So he tried to clean it up. So they canceled his whole show, the House of Cards. I forgot. I know it's basically something. Yeah, that's crazy. All this thing like a domino effect. So I'm like, okay, so is Hollywood going to fall down? It's going to be destroyed because of these powerful men that's pedophiles in these big positions that get these young, these aspiring actresses and actors to do what they want to do, just to be on the silver screen, of money, whatever, power, fame. So to get to that level, so it's just how it is crazy. I mean, I'm thinking, wow. Now it's already into the music industry already. So now it's going to the Hollywood actors and actresses. So it's just how it is crazy, man. But Weinstein, he's just his company, his own company fired you. How your own company fire you?
He owned it with his brother.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But see, here's the thing that I worry. Here's the thing that I worry about, and this is what people try to act like doesn't exist, and it totally does. Is when you start getting these people that jump on the bandwagon where nothing happens, and they're just looking for attention, and they say, "Me too, yeah, this happened to me too," blah blah blah. And my thing is, when it comes to sexual harassment, there is no forensic thing for you to trace. All a person has to do is say this thing happened. And then with the way that society is now for us, the press will take it and run with it because it's a story. And people will indict that person regardless. You know what I mean? Right. That's so that's the thing that I worry about happening. I'm not taking up for Weinstein. I think he's guilty, personally. I think he did it, because there's way too many people that's like, yeah.
Right.
You know, and the same thing with Cosby. I think he was dropping, you know, roofies or whatever and taking advantage of unconscious women, you know. But I don't know about Spacey. I've never heard anything about him. But I find the timing of this whole thing a bit weird. You know,
right.
Now, after, what's the guy? He's, 50-something now? And he's saying that this happened, 30-something years ago?
Yeah, 30-something years ago.
So
right.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's possible he could have been inspired by, you know, these people taking Weinstein down. But
okay.
It's just...
Okay, on
like,
Weinstein, I know. Now, let's do this. He was Hefner, even though he passed. So why all the time he wanted to Playboy, you know, all that kind of stuff, even his Playboy Mansion, all that kind of stuff, all these young girls, 18 or whatever. So nothing ever came out on him. You know, it's amazing. And he ran Hugh Hefner. You know, his Playboy Club and all that kind of stuff. But all this, he never had no sexual harassment case. But then again, he had some allegations. But then again, it just slipped under the table. So, the guy with Hustler. What's that guy with the Hustler magazine?
Well, I mean, listen, you don't even have to go that far. You got Woody Allen that's married to...
Oh, yeah, Woody Allen, right. Yeah, his daughter, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
And that was like a hush-hush thing. It's crazy.
No, it was very open and everything. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's a lot of...
Well, not hush-hush, but
whenever you're dealing with money like that and power, people just... They go dark. So for people to be shocked that this kind of stuff happens, I mean, it has a name called the casting couch. And I got into an argument earlier this week because I said I don't feel sorry for the women that did it to further their career. And if your career happened anywhere, you don't get to now turn around and say, he did this, and, you know, I can't believe it. No. You don't get this act like you have a moral compass. You try.
No, you know you're right.
It just happens to not work out for you. So, no, you're not the same as these people who kept their integrity and decided he's not going to bend me over a desk for a partner movie. And if he destroyed their careers, then, he owes them something.
Like the lady that went up to his room, went to the hotel, and she thought she was going to meet him in the lobby. But the desk clerk says he's in his room because you can go meet him up there. So right then she had in her mind, oh my God, here we go again. So she went up. She went up there. Why go up there? You know he's in this bathroom or whatever. And meeting in his room. Come on, you know what that's all about.
See, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what a lot of women will tell you for that is they'll be like, well, she shouldn't have to worry about him. He should be able to control himself. Yeah, that is the truth. But also, at 2 a.m, you should be able to cut down the alleyway to get to another street without having to worry about getting mugged. But would you do it? Is it safe? Would you put yourself in that position? You know, if you know that you're the known creep, and you're saying, come up to my room and talk to me there. That should sound like you should literally hear the monster music starting to play in the back of your mind. Like, no, I think I'm going to use the lobby phone and talk to you from here.
Right. As we know the phone,
I'm not going into the belly of the beast.
Right.
I'll give you some papers or whatever she is. I don't know. But that's the same thing what happened to Bill Cosby. He was supposed to be helping that girl with her career.
Right.
And he told her to go to his hotel at 11.
And she went.
Or whatever. And she went, and her parents let her go. It was just like, what? Yeah, so I don't know. It's just odd to me. I don't know, man. But people accuse me of being hard-hearted, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jerk.
No, I mean, that's why I even brought it up, because I agree. I think it's a complete fad right now. I don't think the people who are coming out and talking about Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby or anything like that, or anything like that are completely, not saying they're not genuine, but I think they're just following everyone else. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come out when, back in the day when, what's that dude's name? He was a little boy, the one you were just talking about?
Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman. They didn't come out and back him up when he was saying that this happened to him, or any other person who was blacklisted for speaking out about Weinstein, for instance, they didn't back them up. But now that they're seeing that, oh, yeah, let's persecute him. He did. I can't believe he's like this. I can't believe this is how Hollywood is. Now they want to open their mouth. So I don't feel sorry for them. I completely think it's a fad. I completely think it's just sheep following sheep. Not saying it didn't happen to them, but the way that they're putting it out there, I completely think it's sheep following sheep. And, if you want to be taken seriously, then you shouldn't have just thought about your money, your career, or what you could lose if you say anything about this guy. You should have all banded together way back in the day to get this taken care of. And one other thing I want to point out, you are just as guilty as the ones who didn't come out and say anything. You are just as guilty as Harvey Weinstein himself for the people who got molested after this happened to you. So for the people that got molested all those years after that, you are just as guilty as Harvey Weinstein himself because you didn't try and get it to stop. You didn't try and do anything. You were just worried about your career. You were just worried about your money. And I have absolutely zero, probably lower than zero, sympathy for you.
Okay, well, can I make it?
In context, though, because you do hear a lot of rumors about a lot of people, so it's hard to, know what.
When you hear the same thing, when you hear the same rumors over and over throughout the years, you have to wonder if they're true.
No, but no. Wait a minute, though. It doesn't matter because a lot of people will say that Michael Jackson was a child molester, but everyone that ever accused him of it was they were coming from a family of known hustlers that try to get money out of celebrities. So, there's still an era of these people could have just been hustling for money, and he never got convicted of anything.
But these were children. At one point, they were children, Logic. So do you think that the parents are influencing the child to lie so that they can actually have get the advantage or be able to sue?
Parents can tell children to do a certain thing if they think they can get millions out of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about all these women with Bill Cosby that have 18 years later? I remember. I think he gave me something to drink. I was at some wild party, and he actually did. He actually did rope me, and I felt so violated for 18 years. I just couldn't speak out. I mean, how much of that do you think is true? What percentage of these women do you think
actually... But suddenly, because everybody else is speaking out, now you don't feel so violated that you can't speak out? Like, it's all bull. To me, it's all bull.
But listen, there is a possibility, though, here, that if it was a industry norm, that, like for Weinstein, for example, that he will sexually harass women until they get it. If the norm all this time has been shut your mouth, take the money, or whatever, or he's going to destroy your career, then I can understand somebody saying, like, okay, well, he's not going to do this to me, but I'm definitely away from him, and I'm going to hope my career can weather the storm. And now that power dynamic has shifted to where you can now openly say that this person did this. That I can see people coming out of the woodwork. Now I know that my career won't be deep six because of this. Now I can come out and actually tell what happened to me. That's something that is possible. However, my whole thing is, if you were playing the game before and you were willingly going over and giving people handies under the table in order to get a role or whatever, don't play like now all of a sudden. Oh, I'm a victim too. No, you're not, because you were willing to play that game and you were with it. So don't act as if you're the same as these people who were really just left in his wake and now their careers are over and whatever. No, you're not the same. You don't get to take the money and then try to act like you're, a victim as well. No. That's my whole thing.
I completely agree with you, and I would love if somebody would call in, because I know there are people out there who are bashing us, but I would love if you would call in to let us know your thoughts on why you don't agree with us. Because, every time, and let me give the phone number before I continue, 607-203-5378, 607-203-5378, or since I know we have 10 minutes left of the show, you can always text your opinion to 484-840-8255. 3627. Yeah, because every time you go to like a news station or something, they're saying, it doesn't matter how long ago this happened. These women are brave to come out and, and talk about it now, and, we should feel sorry for them, or we should feel whatever for them, blah, 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 blah. But nobody's pointing out that these women, and I don't understand why nobody's pointing this out. Nobody's pointing out that these women who didn't come out and fight against Harvey Weinstein continuing what he was doing in Hollywood is just as much at fault as Harvey Weinstein himself. I don't know why nobody's saying that.
I know.
Because you knew this would happen, and instead of coming out and saying, hey, don't go in there, or, banding with the rest of them who got blacklisted, because I'm pretty sure if it was enough people doing it, you can't blacklist everybody in Hollywood. So I'm pretty sure if there was enough people doing it, he would have gotten just fired from his own company like he did now, But you allowed the people.
I don't totally agree with that, because, like I said, I think social pressure is what's making this situation what it is right now. I don't think it's that the judicial system finally just heard, like, what? There's directors molesting actresses? I never. You know what? Get him on the phone, because we will not have. Like, I don't think that they're that ignorant. And I think they knew. I think it was an open thing that they knew, but the climate at the time was, this is how it goes down. You got some directors that are creepy and some that are cool, And now my thing is, it's kind of, if an actress, like let's say if Susan Sarandon knew, right? And who's the girl from Hunger Games? What's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence. Let's say a young Jennifer Lawrence was coming in the game, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go see Weinstein over at Merrimack," and Susan Sarandon said, "Well, he's a rapist, right? So you should stay away from him." Now, if she goes, Jennifer Lawrence, anyway, she goes and says, "Yeah, Susan Sarandon told me he's a rapist," and that gets back to him at that time with the power that he had, he could destroy Susan Sarandon's career. You know what I mean? So her incentive would be like, oh boy. You know what I mean? She may know, but she can't say anything. You know what I mean? Where now my thing is on a homie level, you can just kind of nudge somebody and say, watch yourself. Make sure you wear some ugly clothes and try to play yourself down, because he's a little frisky. Or whatever you can say to kind of give somebody a hint, like, watch it. But if his power was to that level, which I believe Hollywood was at the time, that kind of thing could get you clipped. So I'm not going to say that every person that ever heard anything should have been yelling it from the rafters. But if you knew and you were willing to play the game and you denied it and protected him or whatever the case may be, if you did any of those things, you don't have a right to say anything now. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, my God. Why do I bother? I don't even know why I bother.
She's back on the red phone.
No, I'm here. I just keep getting kicked out. My phone keeps going in and out. My charger or something. I heard everything you guys. Charger's going on and off. I mean, at one point I wanted to jump in and say something about the casting couch. I mean, a lot of these people that are crying, molestation, or this person took advantage of me, this famous person or whatever, sometimes at that time they were willing to do willing to be how can I say willing to be molested? They were willing to be intimate, I'll put it this way, behind closed doors, because they just hope. Right, exactly. Well, whatever we want to call it, really, because molestation is like you're saying harassment, or you're saying this someone practically raped you.
Listen, we're all adults here. They were willing to bang to get a part in a movie.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's not that. When it didn't work out, or it did work out, but then years later they see the opportunity for more money. It's like, oh, I'm just going to actually say that he molested me, even though I know that because of that opportunity, and I open my legs. Now I have this part on this big television show. That hey, why not join the bandwagon and just cry rape or molestation 14 years later, or even if it was less than that? It's just the fact that people are opportunists in this world. Period. whichever way they can see their opportunity, they slide their way in there. And unfortunately, women are very guilty of that. In most cases, it is women. You know, and it becomes very political. Some these people their careers do fall, but they should have thought of that too at that moment. They knew what they were doing. The people, you know, the men that are executing these crimes is what they are. I mean, but when you're two grown people and you feel like you're going to get a better part and you open your legs up, and you know what, shame on you. But don't try to come back later and say, you know, I'm
reading the statement that the guy made about Kevin Spacey. This sounds weird to me. So he's saying that him and Kevin Spacey were doing the same Broadway show or something like that years ago.
Right.
And Kevin Spacey invited everybody over for a party, including him. He was bored at the parties, and he ended up in Kevin Spacey's bedroom watching television. And before he knew it, he was the only one left in the apartment by the end of the party in his room.
How convenient.
And so, and then that's when Kevin Spacey came and picked him up. So I don't know how he got from the bed to the doorway, but apparently Kevin Spacey came, picked him up like a bride over the threshold, laid him down, and laid on top of him, and he got out of there. Now, I'm not going to say he's lying, but that seems very strange to me. So you're 14 at a party with a bunch of adults, and you're in his bedroom watching television, and you don't realize people are leaving.
Right.
You know, because anybody been to a party, you know, it probably take about an hour for everybody to kind of leave. You know, whenever that process starts, when people start leaving, it's usually about an hour. That's when everybody starts trailing out. So, what were you watching for this entire party that you really didn't notice that it was getting more and more quiet to the point that it was just empty, and it was just you and him? It's just weird. That is just weird to me.
I know.
I don't know. That's strange to me.
Yeah, and that one thing right there.
It's possible. It's definitely possible, because if he was 14, they're not paying attention to their surroundings. So it's very possible. But it's just very strange to me. And then your parents were just like, yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, where were his parents?
Yeah, let's go to the party.
What? Because you were acting on Broadway? You weren't a star? You were just a young fledgling actor on Broadway on one show.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's not. They push their kids. They push their kids to that stardom.
But again, I want to point out that we're not saying that there's a possibility that this didn't happen. We're not saying that at all. It's just saying it just sounds really
I'm saying
weird.
It's very possible it could have happened because he was, again, a kid not paying attention is very possible. But it's just the whole thing is just like a perfect storm.
And why come out
now?
Now.
Your parents, let you go to this show to this party with no chaperone, and you were amongst all these adults, which I assume they knew you were there at some point, and everybody just left and said, "Oh, young so and so will find his way home," and Kevin Spacey picked you up like a bride and then laid on you, and you just walked out.
Wow.
He overpowered him, right?
It sounds a little sketchy. It sounds a little sketchy.
Even if it didn't sound sketchy, why did you wait all this time?
Listen, Kevin Spacey's, hold on now. Kevin Spacey's a beast, and he could have been worrying about his career. Because I think the only thing he's on now is Star Trek Discovery, which that just started. So he might not have had a great career so far.
But
so
hey guys, let me interrupt you. I didn't even realize the show was almost over. This was a good conversation.
Right.
We only have 30 seconds left. I want to thank Shar's friend for calling in and debating with us, and I want to thank everyone for listening. We'll be back here next week Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on No Conduct Radio. Sorry I don't have time to go into what we're talking about next week. Thanks for joining us. Also, if you have any input into what we were talking about tonight, Harvey Weinstein, send us your text at 484-840-3627. That's our hotline. You can leave a voicemail or send a text, 484-840-3627. Peace out, everyone.
Have a great week, everyone from Las Vegas. Take care.
From the Red Moon.
From the city of Las Vegas. Goodbye.
The Red Planet. Yeah.